Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and this is day 29 of my 31 days of horror in October. And we're going to do this because it's Saturday. It's going to be a positive spin of a much hated Halloween movie, and that is Halloween 2, or people usually just call it H2. Now, this is going to be a two-parter because I have a lot to say about this film, and I usually I'm going to start with my relationship with this film. But stay tuned for the second part because I'm going in order of the film. I always write down notes. I wrote down specific notes that go along with the film, so you should be able to keep up with what's going on if you've seen H2. And this, of course, is the director's cut. Now, my relationship with this film is I saw it in the theaters. I've seen everything from Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, through Halloween Kills in the theaters. I went with my cousin. I was very sick at the time, and I was on a lot of pain medication um, for things that had happened in my life that I don't want to get into right now. But my cousin is not a horror fan. He actually was the one that went to see Hellfest with me, and he covered his eyes at the end, and I think it traumatized him a little bit, but not quite as much as this movie traumatized him. So I love this movie when I saw it in theaters. Now, of course, that was the theatrical cut. Is it a lot different? Not really. I mean, there are some very memorable differences, but the movie is essentially the same. So I loved it. And then when I bought it on DVD when it came out, I was a little less than impressed. I thought I remembered other things in the film being longer, but then again, I was on pain medication, so that could have something to do with it. But I remember saying one time that Halloween Kills was Michael at his absolute most brutal. No, this movie has it hands down, and I just remember in the beginning um, when they're doing that dream sequence with the Halloween 2 thing, when he's stabbing that nurse, my cousin made a noise and turned his head. He could not take it. He was just like, "Wow, that's crazy." And I feel the same way. He is brutal in this film. So let's put a positive spin on Halloween 2. And this is a movie I've actually come to love more and more every time I watch it. I do prefer the director's cut just a teeny bit over the um, theatrical cut. Joe and I did watch both. So let's get into this. All right, in the beginning, I love how she's walking down the street in the beginning with the blood. I think that's an awesome shot of trauma and tragedy. I think that it just works really well. The hospital scene is so realistic. It looks so real, and it kind of hurts to watch a little bit because she's screaming, "Am I going to die?" Now, as much as everyone thought she was annoying in the first Halloween, man, she does trauma so well in this movie. It actually feels like a person suffering from trauma, from PTSD. The ambulance scene seems real to me, in the chemistry between the guys and the dialogue. Now, granted, I don't think people should go have sex with dead people, but I can see guys joking around about that. And I like Richard Brake. I think he's great. Joe made a joke of how the cow, about the cow that had me rolling, of course, because we messaged back and forth while we are watching it. He should have moved. Get it? Yeah. Okay. Figured I'd throw that one in there. Richard Brake is one of my favorite modern actors. I think he's great, especially in 31 when he plays Doomshead. This movie is shot beautifully. That's why I don't understand when a lot of people say this is the worst horror movie ever made. It's not. It's shot really well. Really, really well. I love the use of Knights in White Satin in the dream sequence when she's in the. It's kind of like a little homage to Halloween 2, the original. I like that he did that. I thought it was great that he put that in there. The dream sequence is great. It gives familiarity of for fan service while being able to do its own thing. So it kind of knocks it out of the way so that he can kind of do his own thing with the movie. And isn't that what people want? I mean, do people complain about Psycho being a shot for shot? So if Rob Zombie had done a shot for shot, people would have complained about that. So I don't understand what you want, you know? Okay, Michael is so vicious in this. The stabbing links in with the white horse. Of course, a lot of people bitch about the white horse, but it is clearly explained in the beginning. Now, I know Joe is putting that in the beginning of his video, so I'm not going to bother. I was going to do that. But maybe people should read it. It kind of fits in, and it is an actual thing used in psychology. So, you know. Okay. The cast is great. When Laurie lands in the vat of bodies, of course, this is in the director's cut. It's amazing. It's just nasty. I love how messed up his mask is. That was something I didn't like at first, but I have grown to love the more I like this, the more I watch this film. It's just realistic. While Scout, and this is kind of a reiteration, while Scout got on my nerves in the first movie, she is brilliant in this. She does trauma so well. I mean, it feels real. It feels like, I mean, you have Neve Campbell, who have gone through 5 screams. Now, granted, in the third one, she kind of breaks a little bit, but I just don't see her being like that, being able to function in society when something that horrific has happened to you. So it just seems real to me. Scout does trauma so well. It is so believable. She carries the movie so well. Danielle Harris also does a great job as well, showing their crumbling friendship and the trauma that they have faced together. It's almost like they blame each other, but they love each other at the same time and just aren't willing to let go. I think Joe says something about it's like a couple losing a baby. You know, it's like they resent each other, but they still love each other. The counselor scenes are so realistic. Margot Kidder was really, really did well in this. R.I.P. Margot Kidder. While I don't love what they did with Loomis, it is realistic and does leave room for his redemption. And I think that's an important part of the ending. Granted, I prefer Dr. Loomis, and I don't want to compare these too much. I prefer Donald Pleasance, but I think the more realistic approach is probably the Sam Loomis in the Halloween 2 remake. I love the store she works in. I would want to go there. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's like a books and record place, and it sells movies and all kinds of crap. I'm going to end my first part with this, because this is going on for a while. I know Hobo Michael is controversial, but is he going to shit, shower, and shave at a store and go buy, new clothes at a store? It just seems realistic to me. Everybody's like, oh, Hobo Michael, Hobo Michael. Well, where is he supposed to get a haircut and a shave? I mean, I think a haircut, or he might find a problem with him. I just don't get, where he's supposed to look anything different. And this takes place 2 years after. My hair grows a lot. My beard grows a lot in 2 years. So it kind of rings as realistic to me. So I'm going to cut it here. Stay tuned for the next part where I'm going to go through the rest of the film. And until 12 hours from now, peace.